High clouds throughout the afternoon. We're sitting currently at 65 degrees there, and we've got a sustained wind out of the east-southeast at about 18 miles per hour. So it is breezy out there, and it will stay that way through the overnight hours tonight. Temperatures pretty uniform, low to mid 60s across the state. We've got a few 70s on the board, 70 right now out towards Council Bluff. And you can see the winds out of the southeast there sustained upwards of 25 miles per hour across northwest Iowa. And we've had gusts between about 30 to 35 miles per hour for much of the afternoon. So some stronger winds continue overnight tonight. We do have the potential for a few isolated stronger storms overnight and into the pre-dawn hours on your Wednesday. Better chance of stronger storms for all of us coming up tomorrow evening. We'll talk more about that timing here in your full Storm Team 8 forecast.
All right, thank you, Ann. Well, new at 5, a high school student is accused of threatening his school from home while in trouble for another threat last week. The Southwest Valley School District in Corning says all of its buildings are safe tonight. The new threats come a day after the school posted this letter on Facebook here. The post, however, no longer appears online. In the letter, the superintendent, Chris Fenster, says a threat made last Thursday wasn't reported until a day later. Police later determined the threat was credible, according to the letter. Fenster says the failure to report this to either the sheriff's office or myself is inexcusable and not tolerable. He says he took appropriate personnel action while the incident is being investigated. Neither the sheriff's department or the district would tell us what the action is or describe the nature of the threat.
Right now in Kansas City, thousands of people are demanding justice for the 16-year-old boy shot after knocking on the wrong door. Take a look at this crowd gathered outside Ralph Yarl's high school, showing their support for the Yarl family. Yarl's mother says her son, who is an honors student, is now recovering at home. Police say 84-year-old Andrew Lester shot Yarl last week. He now faces 2 felony charges. If convicted, Lester could be sentenced to life in prison. Police say Yarl mistakenly went to Lester's door while trying to pick up his brothers from home a block away.
It was about 9:45. I'm like, Ralph, can you please pick up your brothers for me? Being the kid he said, okay. Mornings are hard, but his spirits are in a good place.
Lester told police he thought somebody was breaking into his house. Prosecutors say there is a racial component in the case.
Police in upstate New York say a young woman is dead after she turned into the wrong driveway. 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis and 3 others were looking for a friend's house in a rural neighborhood. Investigators say Kevin Monahan opened fire on their car when they turned into his driveway. Gillis was killed. Monahan now faces murder charges.
New at 5, it was a very late night for lawmakers at the Iowa State House. Take a look. KCCI was there at 5 o'clock this morning as bleary-eyed lawmakers walked out after a marathon session on the Senate floor. An argument over child labor laws was driving that debate.
And chief political reporter Amanda Rooker is live at the State House today, where that bill eventually did pass. Amanda?
Stacey, Scott, it was a long night at the State House, as you mentioned. After a long, intense debate, the Senate did vote on a bill that would change Iowa's child labor laws just before 5 a.m. this morning. Now, supporters of this bill say that it is a needed update to Iowa law that gives kids more opportunity, but opponents call this bill dangerous and irresponsible.
So we're kind of hearing a lot of feedback on a lot of different issues.
As vice president of a healthcare agency, Marcy Strauss works with businesses across the state.
Our employers need more workers.
But as a court-appointed special advocate, she's also seen teenagers struggle to find a job.
One of the kids last year turned 14. He could not even get a call back because of his age. And so when he would call to follow up, a lot of it was around, well, your hours are so restricted. We really need to have more flexibility in when we're scheduling.
Strauss argues that's a problem this bill would solve by allowing teens to work more hours a day. Kids under 16 would be able to work 6 hours a day instead of 4. And 16 and 17-year-olds would be able to work the same hours as adults. Jessica Dunker with the Iowa Restaurants Association argues those changes will help businesses and Iowa teens.
The sentiment behind these changes was always to expand opportunities for teenagers who are looking to work.
The bill would also allow kids to work later. Instead of having to stop at 7 p.m., kids under 16 could work until 9 p.m. during the school year and 11 p.m. in the summer.
Probably needs a cleanup.
But Charlie Wishman, president of the Iowa Federation of Labor, argues those changes are bad for Iowa teenagers.
Once you get over about 20 hours a week, that's when kids' grades start to drop. That's when kids start dropping out of school. That's when test scores drop.
He also worries the bill could put kids in danger.
It still does allow kids to work in assembly. It still allows kids to be working in factories where there are explosives. There are still plenty of dangerous occupations out there the kids are now going to be allowed into.
Democrats brought those concerns to the Senate floor, but Republicans argue the bill does have safety regulations. The bill still needs House approval before it can become law.
Now, another major change that this bill would make, it would allow 16 and 17-year-olds to serve alcohol in restaurants, but not in bars. Now, this bill did pass the Senate with 32 Republicans voting yes. 2 Republicans did join all Democrats in voting no. Scott?
And Amanda, this was a very long debate. What exactly kept lawmakers at the Capitol all night?
Well, Scott, there was clashing over the content of this bill, but there was also clashing over procedure. Part of that delay came when a Republican refused to answer a question from a Democrat about an amendment to the bill. After that happened, Democrats left to go to a private meeting. When they came back, Republicans refused to answer more questions. Now, lawmakers aren't legally required to answer questions, but they usually do. Senate Republicans cited a recent Iowa Supreme Court ruling arguing that any inaccurate information lawmakers say during debate about legislative intent might now be used in court to declare bills unconstitutional. Now, despite that, Senate Democrats say that Iowans deserve to hear their questions asked and to get those questions answered. We'll have more on what this could mean for the future of debate at the Iowa State House and how Iowans can still have their questions answered coming up at 6. Scott?
All right, thank you, Amanda. Looking forward to that report. Well, Iowa lawmakers also approved a number of other proposals during their long session. That includes a bill that creates harsher penalties for people who sell fentanyl or other drugs that cause deadly overdoses. That bill is now awaiting the governor's signature. And senators approved a $5 million cap on damages for crashes involving trucking companies. It's also awaiting the governor's signature.
New at 5, students at Marshalltown High School could soon see added security measures. Last night, the school board approved a plan to add 25 new security cameras and a new door intercom to the school. The district will take bids on the project. School leaders say it mirrors a similar project at Miller Middle School. Stepping in to help, the heroic action that turned a pizza delivery driver into a crime fighter.
And pushing for a veto, why some Iowans are telling the governor not to sign a bill on her desk.
We return to those spring-like thunderstorms late tonight and especially tomorrow, the biggest threats you could see in your Storm Team 8 forecast.
This is Iowa's news leader, KCCI 8 News at 5.
New at 5, Fox News and Dominion Voting Systems have reached a $787 million settlement in a defamation lawsuit. Dominion sued Fox for $1.6 billion. Dominion claimed Fox knowingly aired false claims about its voting machines after former President Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. A jury was seated right before the trial was supposed to begin. Well, new at 5, a quick thinking delivery driver had a special order for a Pennsylvania car chase suspect, and it was a trip to jail.
Yeah, it was all caught on video, too. Take a look. Tyler Morrell says he was working for a pizza shop Monday when a high-speed chase interrupted a delivery. Police say the man crashed a stolen car and started running, and that's when Morrell stepped in. Take a look right there. Gave him a trip. Stepped his foot out and sent the driver sprawling to the ground.
I'm pretty sick of seeing crime like that go on, especially a half a mile down the road. So I was just ready to step up, and if they needed a hand, I was there, or a foot, whatever.
Good for him. Police filed several charges against the driver and a passenger. And by the way, Morrell says after all that, his pizza was delivered safely.
Well, a Des Moines woman will be sentenced next month for her role in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Deborah Sandoval will learn her fate on May 1st. Prosecutors are recommending a 3-month sentence and 3 years probation. She has already admitted to entering the Capitol that day. Her son, Salvador Sandoval of Ankeny, was convicted of 12 charges in the case. His sentencing date hasn't been set.
New at 5, the Animal Rescue League says a puppy is recovering after some pretty awful injuries. The ARL says 8-week-old Theo had a broken leg and was missing a foot. Look at his sweet little face. Somebody found this puppy last week. The ARL says his foot was in paper towels, scotch tape, and electrical tape. And when all that was unwrapped, they discovered the puppy's foot was missing, and what remained was bloody and raw, as you can imagine, not treated. Veterinarians think this puppy's leg was broken a month ago. Police say the people who brought Theo in are not responsible for these injuries.
New at 5, activists are urging Governor Kim Reynolds veto big changes to Iowa's food assistance programs. Lawmakers passed the bill last week. Under the changes, only households with less than $15,000 in liquid assets and property would qualify for SNAP benefits. That does not include their house or car. Republicans say the change makes the system more sustainable, but activists say it means more Iowans will go hungry.
I sincerely want to understand why we are making it more difficult to access a program with an eligibility ceiling of 160% of poverty that affords a maximum individual benefit at that level of $23 per month, paid entirely with federal funds.
DMARC CEO Matt Unger says the demand for food assistance is at an all-time high.
Right now, dozens of Iowans are looking for new jobs as a national bridal chain goes bankrupt. David's Bridal says it will lay off about 100 workers from its Iowa stores. That includes 29 employees in Clive. The company filed for bankruptcy for a second time in 5 years Monday. In all, David's Bridal will cut about 9,200 jobs nationwide. It says it will not close its stores.
Right now, 2 busy bridges in Des Moines are closed for much needed repairs. The 2nd Avenue bridges over the Des Moines River and Berlin Drive will be shut down until Friday. About 19,000 drivers use that bridge every day. A detour is set up on 6th Avenue. The bridges should reopen on Friday. Now, KCCI Investigates first told you about the problems with those bridges more than a year ago. More than 4,500 bridges are considered structurally deficient in Iowa. You can watch our full Bad Bridges investigation online at kcci.com.
Happening right now, you can get an early jump on one Iowa springtime tradition. Take a look. This is a live look from downtown Pella, where the tulips are already in bloom. You see those patches of color there on the town square. Gorgeous. The flowers are springing up earlier than normal, but the wet and colder weather should keep them well preserved, we understand. Pella has plenty of other tulips still waiting to bloom, so there should be plenty to enjoy during the Tulip Time Festival. That's May 4th through the 6th, and it looks like a really pretty day to be out enjoying those tulips.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, maybe have some allergy medicine and go out there and really enjoy it, Ann.
Just keep that on tap. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been breezy, but it's much warmer today than yesterday, into the mid-60s this afternoon. So it feels pretty good. Just some high clouds out there through the afternoon, but overall, a decent amount of blue sky today across the state. 12-hour forecast looks like this. Things turn active as we head into the overnight and pre-dawn hours tomorrow. Temperatures hang back into only the low to mid 50s tonight thanks to that cloud cover, and our best chance for storms here in Des Moines and central Iowa comes closer towards midnight and into the start of the day on your Wednesday. So biggest threats, we've got 2 rounds of storms coming through, one tonight through early tomorrow morning, and then another one tomorrow evening and into the overnight hours. Biggest threats as we head into the day tomorrow will be hail and wind. As we go into late tonight and early Wednesday morning, better chance for some large hail with some of those storms to develop. So that's what we'll be on the lookout for early tomorrow morning. We get a brief break tomorrow right around midday into the early afternoon, and then it's likely those storms redevelop between say 5, 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening and stick with us through the evening and overnight hours into early Thursday morning. So here's what it looks like tonight. No big issues, at least through the next couple of hours. We'll start to see storms developing out into portions of Nebraska as we head towards 9, 10 o'clock. Those storms push into central and northern Iowa as we head closer towards 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. So a bumpy night ahead. Those storms are with us through the early morning hours on Wednesday, and then we get a break by about mid-morning tomorrow. So 10, 11 o'clock. Mostly cloudy skies out there. We'll stay quiet, I think, at least through the early afternoon, so no issues through 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then it's likely those storms redevelop right around dinner time tomorrow evening, initially starting off kind of single eyes, and then they'll kind of congeal into a line likely and push across the state as we go into tomorrow evening. Again, damaging wind, large hail, and the potential for some tornadoes will be our biggest threat tomorrow evening, and then that threat dies down by Thursday. Our shower chances dwindle as we go throughout the day on Thursday. So best chance for severe weather coming tomorrow evening. A few isolated storms possible late tonight. But again, hail and damaging winds will be our big concern going into the day on Wednesday. Wednesday evening, overnight. That's the main time frame that we're watching. We're under that slight risk for severe weather as we go into the day tomorrow. So tonight, we'll keep it back to the 50s. Tomorrow we jump up into the 70s. Our winds will turn southerly. That will bring in some mild air tomorrow as our next system rolls through and brings us more severe weather tomorrow evening. Thursday, some leftover showers and storms. We'll dry out on Friday, a cooler but drier weekend ahead heading into Saturday and Sunday.